Good morning.
And a good morning to you. This is another fine episode of Misfits and Gravy. I am your boy TMak, and with me is your favorite. You know him, you love him.
Meta World Dave, aka Meta World Mornings.
Meta, aka Meta Steal Your Girl. AM, PM, don't matter, you know what I mean?
That's a fact.
How are you?
Should we do a PM show? Why I just steal people girls?
That's actually good. I like that.
It's
Don't
it's
matter.
like cheaters, but like I'm the cheater and I'm encouraging the cheating. I could see a spin on that.
Was Cheaters like a setup show, or is that legit?
I think it was legit because there was an episode where the host got stabbed by the dude. Like that
I
really
forgot
happened.
about that. On a boat, right, or something?
That I'm not aware of.
I think I vaguely remember that. But I wonder if you could get away with doing that today. That show was some stuff.
Yeah, you could because it mostly basically portrayed men in a bad light, and people are okay with that.
You think so?
It would just have to be a lot more white men.
There were no female cheaters on there?
I wasn't a huge fan, so I had never seen a female cheater, but I don't know, probably. I don't know.
White men's long storied history of being shit on, you're right. Forgot about that.
Nah, it's a new thing. That's what I'm saying. You get away with it now.
That's true. It's very
It's
recent.
all listening comprehension, TMak. Hooked on phonics work for me.
I prefer to get hooked on nothing but life.
That's I've been fishing. That's kind of cool.
Have you? Was it also just a fishing scam, or?
Listen, it's not a scam if you trust the Gordon's fishermen.
The Gordon's fisherman.
Just the Gordon's fisherman.
Who is this Gordon fella? How was your weekend, my friend?
Police Commissioner Gordon. He's also a fisherman.
You win that one. Police Commissioner Fisherman Gordon. That's actually pretty good.
It's like
That's what he did on the side. He was a fisherman. That's pretty awesome. I won't lie.
Bro, that's where they messed up the whole show of Batman. The vigilante who was like PTSD'd by his parents being murdered. That's not the story. That's low-hanging fruit. The story is the guy who was able to manage an entire city as a police commissioner, yet is also on the side a big fisherman doing like weekend runs and stuff, avoiding the perfect storm. That is impressive. He draws 2 pensions.
That is very impressive, actually. Nobody talks about that part of the story.
Nobody talks about that.
Here
and
we
never
do.
Smells like fish.
True. He always smells very nice.
Because the penguin would have got him.
That's very true. Do I smell fish?
Would have found him.
That's a spin, man. I could see that one coming down the road. You should write the new Batman movie.
It's funny because like Disney Plus is doing so many spin-offs, I could probably get one of those on. Like, give me any Disney property. Just name one.
Star Wars.
Besides Star Wars, because they're already doing a million spin-offs.
The Little Mermaid.
Boom. Little Mermaid. You know what the real story in the Little Mermaid is? There's somebody underwater who sells all those people their food at some sort of like food truck, taco cart under the sea type thing going on, you know? I want to see that guy's life.
Nobody's
Follow
getting at
him.
That. There's no competition on he moved it under the sea. It's a pretty big business.
Yeah. Yep. See? It's like yeah, exactly.
Now we're getting Pacific.
Okay. Very Pacific. Instead of Cake Boss, we name it Cake Bass. And he owns a cake shop under the sea. And for the wedding, she has to buy his cake.
We're giving up some serious ideas here. Hopefully nobody steals these. These are fantastic for a Monday morning, I gotta say.
All right, just one more Disney property and then we'll move on.
Mulan.
First of all, it's Mulan.
Oh, my bad.
Mulan is a racial epithet.
It
I don't
is?
know if you did that. Are you being
No.
serious? Oh, is
Yeah,
that
no, I
what
didn't know it was a racial epithet. You say
epitaph? I don't know how to pronounce it right
for
now.
which group?
For the blacks, the
Well, why'd they
Mulan.
name the movie that then?
It's Mulan. It's different. One is
Oh, my bad.
Italian. One is Chinese.
My bad.
Yeah. My biggest issue with the movie Mulan is that at some point they mentioned that they're the middle dynasty. And I'm like, how would you know you're the middle dynasty? Did you know you were going to fall and there'd be a third dynasty?
Have you? That's very true. Have you seen the live action version?
No, I didn't because I heard of all the propaganda that was in it. And then I had friends who went to see it and they were like Mulan fanboys and they were like, that shit sucked. So
Yeah,
if
the first
even
one.
they didn't
Yeah,
like it, I didn't even.
yeah, I'm a hardcore fanboy for the first one, so that's disappointing to hear.
Oh, it's one of the better Disney movies. But okay, here's okay. Oh, you
All
know
right, hold on.
what?
Let's
Now
get
that I
down to
think about it,
business.
I think they made a spin-off of Mulan already. It's called Kung Fu Panda. It's about
Oh
the
my god.
dude who sells noodles by the Great Wall.
It sells what?
Noodles.
What's a noodle?
You know noodles. You take the pasta and then you roll it out into fresh noodles and then you
Oh,
put them in
noodles.
bowl.
Gotcha. Sorry, that one took me a second there. I was like, noodles.
By
What?
the way, that is an accurate imitation. That's not racial stuff. The dad from Kung Fu Panda literally says noodles.
He's yeah, no, it was dead on. I just had no idea what that was. Kung Fu Panda's a good one, but I was definitely a Mulan fanboy, so that's disappointing. I was afraid to watch the live action, so I guess I made the right decision.
From what I hear, yeah.
Guess I was really using my noodle.
Ooh.
How did you say it again?
So your noodle, is it laptop or desktop?
This is alarmingly good.
And then I went, see, now that one was racist, folks. In case you can't read between the lines, your new Dell, you Googled up showtimes and decided against it because of COVID.
Yo, what do you? Speaking of that, what do you think of HBO's Max's plan for their movies?
Well, I think, who was it? Time Warner signed a deal that everything they're doing is coming out in HBO Max for the next
Yeah,
year or so.
it was funny because I was just talking to my wife about it, and I was like, "Why?" Because I want to see that Tenon movie, and they refuse to put it on streaming right now. But I'm like, why don't they just make me pay a premium? Like, I was surprised HBO's rolling it out as part of their standard package, but why not pay the movie theaters $10, charge me $10 to stream it at home, and everybody wins? That was my thought process.
Exclusive content. Because
Yeah, yeah.
it's like, okay, put it this way. So businesses that run on subscription models, what makes you more valuable is having more subscribers locked down in long-term contracts, similar to cell phone companies. So the cell phone companies, which are considered the most valuable, are companies like Verizon, which have the longest contracts and all that stuff. So you can look at Verizon and look at their books and be like, they have this many subscribers. Then you look at someone like T-Mobile, which lets a lot of people go month to month. They don't have the subscribers, making them a less desirable company and in some ways less reliable. So as HBO pulling the subscription model to bring up your value as a company, if you gain exclusive content, you're going to have people willing to pay for it no matter what. So while they could go for the short money grab and make a lot of money this quarter off of one really big movie, what they're doing is they're building their walls up and they're locking in their customer base over a longer term contract. And by making you get HBO Max, they're going to make more money in the long run than you spending $50 even to rent the movie.
I guess that makes sense. It's definitely an interesting model. I'm excited. I'm glad somebody made the shift.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about glad. I don't know. Because the movie theater experience as we know it is gone. I don't know how your childhood was, but I know many a times me and my friends would just go to the movies for no reason, and it was
Yeah.
affordable.
You'd
You know,
run
my
into
my
like
mom.
I remember running into Pee Wee Herman one time.
Oh wow, you were going to different theaters than I was
Oh, my bad.
completely.
Sorry, go ahead.
Paul Rubens. Paul Rubens. Pee Wee Herman remains unsoiled.
That was amazing.
It was alright.
So the movie theater experience, sorry.
Yeah, no, I think the way it's gonna go is
And answer as Paul Rubens.
I don't think there are gonna be stains anymore. That was half Pee Wee, half Yoda.
It was. No more theaters.
Yeah.
Spank
Well,
my meat in this theater, I say.
here's the thing, TMak. My girlfriend's a big pig. Oh man, that was a terrible Kermit.
Yes, it was. All right, I apologize. Get back to the movie theater experience.
I don't think it's gonna be a casual thing that kids do anymore. You know, occasionally in the summers, my mom would just take me on a Wednesday afternoon at like 1 p.m. for like $5 each. I don't think that's gonna be the culture of movie theaters moving forward. I think it's gonna be date night. It's gonna be dropping about $100 for two people. It's gonna be having dinner in chairs and waiters and waitresses and social distancing. The movie theater is gonna look more like a PF Chang's than it will a AMC.
That makes sense. There's a line of theaters up here called Chunkies. They do that, which is interesting,
Yeah.
but it's not very high end.
Well, and the thing is, that's not the norm now. I think that's pretty much going to be the only way to be able to survive because you need higher margins. And how can I charge you more? Where do theaters make all their money on? They make all their money on
Drinks.
concessions.
Yeah.
Right. But if I can get you to spend like $5 or $6 for a large Coke, imagine what you would pay for a beer that
Yeah,
I bought for like $1.50. And if
crazy
I have
money.
it on tap, I'm paying pennies per cup, per glass. That's the move. That's why I don't even understand restaurants that don't serve alcohol. That's where you make all your money. You make
Yeah.
all your money at the bar.
Yeah, it's like having a production company that doesn't ship.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of production companies make their money on shipping.
Yeah. Well, I feel like production companies, having worked in that business previously, I feel like production companies are excuses to charge for labor, actually.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's
They make
actually
all
very
their money
sound.
off
Yeah.
of they make all their money off of charging for labor, but what's the excuse? Like they're really in the slave trade. They just happen to like also give you something.
Happens to be legal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
What is
not
this,
wrong.
Libya?
What's that?
What is this, Libya?
Yeah, there's a big sign I saw in a warehouse not that long ago, and there's a lot of people, working and stuff down there, and it's hard labor, and it says the best never rest. And I was like, boy, that's a terrible philosophy.
And then at the bottom it said vote for Pedro.
Over Pedro. But no, it's a very similar mentality, like that they're making the most off the labor.
Yeah, I mean that's
Never
what
rest.
it is.
Never take time for yourself. Keep.
Was that a Tom Brady billboard?
It could have been. That's true. It could have been. That was definitely. Speaking of though, it is fascinating because the Patriots chose to take again their corporate structure over a real, true, once in a lifetime talent. And I think a lot of companies do that same thing. It's like, no, you got to see our doctors. Nobody's exempt. Doesn't matter how good you are. You still have to show up and practice, like everybody else. So it's an interesting corporate stance, but a lot of them do it.
Here's the thing. For a talent level like Tom Brady, who are the only people who can tell him anything in that entire corporation? The
Uh,
owner and the coach, right?
yeah, Bill
The Hall of
Belichick
Fame
and
coach.
yeah, Kraft.
In those situations, those guys, believe me, have been so successful, they think they are the smartest man in the room
Isn't
and
that
they know
amazing?
what's what. Yeah, but they're all super successful. They're all right. What are we talking about here? We're talking about Tom Brady potentially winning one more Super Bowl. Like they're already in like the 0.0001% of all successful humans, considering their already accomplishments, and they all think that it was because of them.
Yeah, yeah, that's very true.
And we're not even like just getting to the NFL. You're one of like is an incredible achievement in the grand scope of humanity. But to dominate the way that they have, to avoid scandals, except for maybe a Mar-a-Lago hand job here or there, to be able to do all of that and navigate it seamlessly, they all think that they're that dude.
Yeah,
Now
which
let's
is
get them to agree on something besides lunch.
yeah, basically. Good luck, because
Yep.
people have very different styles. But yeah, you're really seeing this year kind of what the truth is and how you cut through that. You know what works, talent or structure. But structure works, but you can't treat everybody as if they're the same. You can't have one way to teach and one way to train. It doesn't work. Which going back to that poster, I think it was Kevin Garnett who said sometimes rest is more important than practice. So it's just a silly take to say no matter how good you are, no matter how hard you work, that you shouldn't ever rest. It's like that's their corporate thought process, but it's just wrong.
Here's what I will say. I am more for that slogan than against that slogan. And
Mm.
your name is not Machine Gun Belly because you don't take rest. There is something to go through with that. Maybe a little bit too much leisure, too much pleasure doesn't always pay off. You know, sleep when I'm dead is a saying because it's some real shit. Michael Jordan didn't rest until he bought a basketball team. Now he's a little bit chubby, like I get what you're saying. It's probably unhealthy to be maniacal about your work, but I'd rather have a hard worker than a lazy dude who's quote unquote living his best life. Sorry, beat it. That's why this country sucks these days.
Well, kind of right. That's true, but you can't spend all your time trying to get better at what you're not good at already. You can put your time in what you're the best
No,
at.
no, no. That's literally what getting better is. No
I'm
one is
not.
born good at something. So what you do is you take the things you're not good at and you work on them until you're better. There's no such thing as inherent talent. Everything is a learned skill that gets honed and shined and polished. To
See, I
man,
see it. I see it a little different. I would rather focus on what I'm good at and make it what I'm great at. I'm not
and
gonna
become one
pretend.
dimensional. And
In a
then
way,
you just have one skill. And then why did you become
well,
good at that
hold on.
one thing? Because of some weird nebulous decision you made in high school to
Oh,
start drawing. So now all you know how to do is draw and you don't know how to make friends or any of that shit.
well, that was a connection that I really didn't see coming. But I mean, all Tom Brady does is throw. All Bill Belichick does is coach.
Tom Brady's handsome. Tom Brady's a coxman. You see the girls he's pulling? Tom
Sure,
Brady does analysis.
sure. But in college, he didn't say, I'm a great, because again, he was a backup, right? He didn't know whether he was good or not. He didn't say, let me go from being a QB to being a wide receiver like Julian Edelman did. Like, let me have a plan B. Instead of hustling to be a quarterback, I may not be good enough. So let me try to be a tight end and a wide receiver
Yeah,
too.
that's a bad argument.
So
A more
this is what
accurate
I,
no wait no a more accurate argument would be the fact that when he came into the league, he was considered a deep passing quarterback, and then he decided to work on his check downs and short routes, and he became a audible master. And you work on the things that you're not strong at when you first come into the league.
sure, within his realm, right? I mean, he still can't run, still can't block, he still
Correct.
can't catch a pass. So in the overall scheme of things, what
I'm
I'm
not
saying
talking
is
about working on learning how to fly. I'm
he's
talking about working on weaknesses.
sure, but weakness is within the realm of what it is that's your position. There are people who are in sales, right? And I mean, sales is a tough one. There are people who do hair that decide I don't want to do hair. Now I want to go do makeup. And then they say, I don't like the people treated me now that I'm doing makeup. So now I'm going to go be a cosmetologist at the mall. Like you're not working on your craft. You're just trying to get a little bit better at 30 different things. You're going to be
But I did originally start this with honing your craft and getting better skills. So you're bringing up irrelevant shit because my argument would be if you do hair, maybe you're good at coloring but not perming. Maybe you're good with clippers but not scissors. And what you need to do is you need to work on your weak aspects.
I guess I could see that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying be a fighter pilot and a goddamn marine. I'm not actually. I was saying that earlier. Who was I patting on the back for? Commissioner, Police Chief Commissioner
Commissioner
Gordon
Gordon,
Zimmerman. he,
one of the
you
best
see,
fishermen out there.
Yo, Commissioner Gordon understands what I'm getting at. Listen, maybe you're good at hooking criminals, but can you hook a fish? Can you hook a flounder? Because if not, you're not using your time and there's no time for rest.
So you should go flip some flounders. What you're trying to say?
Yeah, it's better than flipping burgers.
Oh, that's very true, man. That's very true.
Hardest one is flipping pancakes. That's my least favorite flip of all.
Why is that?
I'm not great at the flip part, dude. It's like my pancakes never come out perfect circles.
Really? They kind of come out all crooked, all jagged.
They're not jagged, but they're not perfect. They're not like you get in a diner. And I know in diners they use like a metal ring, right?
I think so. I think so. I'm not a big fan. So
Of pancakes?
correct.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm more of like an omelet guy,
You're a
breakfast sandwich
savory.
guy. That's very true. I am a savory type person. I don't like a lot of sweets. Like I'm not like a cake guy or like a cupcake guy.
Yeah, me neither. I would like I tell people all the time, I'd rather have two dinners than dinner and dessert.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like what?
Nothing better than second dinner, bro.
Word.
Would
Word.
you like to
Also,
take this home?
breakfast
I
for
sure
dinner.
would. It's gonna be my second dinner.
Oh wait, do you do the thing where you go to a restaurant and you order stuff because like you order an extra meal just to take home?
Not an extra meal, but I'm gonna like take my time with it, and then I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna get home, have a couple drinks, and then I'm gonna forget about it. And then in like an hour, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I got second dinner. I'm in. It's usually leftovers. Like I'm not a big quantity eater at one time, So usually I have something to take home.
Nah, I know people to be like a dude and his wife and they'll order 3 entrees with the express purpose of taking one home.
Yeah, no, it's not worth it for me to have to carry.
And I live in New York. I'm taking the subway home, bro. That shit smells up the whole subway.
People don't like that.
I don't like it. I don't like it for them. Nothing worse than bro. Top 3 worst things to eat on a subway. If first of all, unless you are destitute or coming to and from work, those are only exceptions to and from work. And it's very rare that I ever see it. Only obese people eat in motion. I'm talking about walking down the street, eating a sandwich. Like they can't wait the 4 minutes to get to their home to eat the sandwich. They eat it while walking down the street.
Well, see, hold on.
Obese people on the train eating egg sandwiches. Whole train smells like eggs now.
Well, there's some secret eating going on here. Like their
What's
wife is
secret eating?
like your wife
Oh,
is,
secret
your
eating.
wife.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's why they got to finish it before they get home because there's a dinner waiting for them at home.
listen, I don't know the reason. I'm just saying I've seen the pattern. Keep your eyes peeled moving forward when you're in public. Only obese people do that.
It's the only
Also,
time
like
they
the
walk.
whole like driving while eating a McGriddle. Like, bro, 4 minutes, you'll be at your job. Park your car.
That's very true. You could. How
And then
how's
also
it for you
I've
for time?
noticed. Yes, exactly. Again, to and fro work. I'll give an exemption on that. But uh, something I've also realized over my lifetime. You know those people who are like just skinny their whole lives, can't
Yes.
gain weight if they wanted to?
Yes.
Those dudes are literally the opposite. They'll get a meal and they will pick at that meal for like 7 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I
Start paying
noticed that.
attention to people's eating habits.
I'll do that. I'll start paying attention to people's eating habits.
That was actually a big thing that got me to have a better relationship with food. Um, our food culture in our family was not healthy. And I just started looking at the way my fat friends ate and the way my skinny friends ate. And once I actually paid attention, I was like, wow, holy darn it. Like,
One was eating on the run.
yeah. And he was the fat one. Go figure, right?
Yeah, there you go.
He was eating a sandwich while sprinting to chase down an ice cream truck.
That makes sense. If you've never done that, you haven't lived.
Yeah. If you haven't choked on your donut because you were running wind sprints, At a halal cart,
Running
then you've
wind
never lived.
sprints. It's
I-
it's when fat people are most active when they're eating.
Wind sprints is when a fat person moves sideways in a fan.
I'm gonna walk around to eat this. I'm moving sideways.
I just ran wind sprints this morning. No, you walked to a bathroom and turned on the fan.
Not the same. Not the same. It was a little different.
Bro, I was working out yesterday. I was doing dips. Oh, you were doing dips for your triceps? No, I was dipping an ice cream cone in the chocolate thing, you know?
Ice cream machine broken.
Yo, McDonald's ice cream machine's always broken.
Always. Why is that?
I think the prevailing theory is nobody wants to clean it. So what they do is they always say it's broken after they cleaned it.
That might be.
That might be. Knowing what I know about ice cream type machines, though, I wouldn't eat them. Ice cream machines, ice machines, all those types of things of that nature, smoothie, like industrial smoothie machines, like they're a vessel for mold.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah, I don't think they clean them quite consistently.
And it's not even that, it's just pushing moisture through tubes constantly. And there's no way to fully clean a tube without replacing it sometimes.
Yeah, definitely is too much gunk. It's just nothing you can do with it.
Yeah, yeah.
I get that. Yeah,
They say never do ice machines, period, point blank, end of story. You go to a hotel, any of that, don't do it.
fat people, on the run, so they don't have time to think about it. Give me this so I can walk to my house.
Oh, I got another fat move for you. I'll have a Big Mac meal, supersize. I'll have a large Coke, no ice.
That's a sin.
See, the thing is, the ice gets in the way of the sugars. And there's a Venn diagram where it's like fat people do this and poor people do this. And then it overlaps somewhere in the middle where it's fat, poor people who do it the most.
How can you? I guess being fat and poor makes sense because the food is such bad quality.
Yeah. Calories, bad calories are very cheap in this country.
You have to have money to eat and not be fat, basically.
Think about it. Junior bacon cheeseburger is like 380 calories, if I'm not mistaken, from Wendy's. It's whatever your value meal is where you live. Some places 99 cents, some places the $1.39. But 350 calories, you're only supposed to eat 2,000. My math isn't the best, but for $6, you can meet your minimum requirements for food for the day and not have to own a kitchen.
Wow. You should start a business for this. Start dropping knowledge.
Feeding fat people?
That's actually great podcast number one.
Feeding fat people? Feeding
Feeding
fatties. Sorry,
Feeding
Meta
fatties
World Thief.
is pretty good.
What do we do on this show?
That is the question, right? It's your show.
Could we do like a fetish podcast where I do like ASMR stuff where I
Oh my
eat
god.
and I talk about food and then just people send me tribute videos?
Tribute videos. Hilarious.
I mean, you think we could do it like Pornhub and just host it there, just bypass YouTube completely?
I guess that's very possible.
Dude, we could play music in that.
It's underground.
We could play music and not get pulled.
This is fatty radio.
Eating fat.
Fatty pirate radio. That's what I was looking for.
Also, if we did that on that podcast, your name would just be Machine Gun Belly.
That's perfect.
Oh no. Actually, I forgot. We're just gonna go full Snaction Bronson.
Snaction Bronson. I stole that. I feel bad there was another one. He's probably very upset I have his name.
Nah, he's fine. I told him about it. We spoke.
We spoke. Me and Snacks spoke. Meta, do you have any weather updates to give these people before we get out of here?
Weather update: 30% chance that it's gonna rain today. No, actually, I closed the windows because TMak was late, so I'm a little bit unprepared for the show. I thought the show wasn't gonna happen. I'm sorry for you folks. It was raining earlier in New York. It's gonna rain later. Expect some more at around 9 o'clock, which it is currently 9:02. I'm not sure what's happening in Boston, but it's probably a little bit colder and a little bit wetter than here, as usual.
That it is, sir. That it is. I can give this a go if you'd like. It is 37 degrees, 35 right now in Boston. There is a low of 26 currently. Meta, where you are sitting right now, there is a low of 33 and a high of 43. Right now it's 42, so just warm enough to not snow, which is what you want, right? As you make your way over onto the other side of the country in Algeria. No, I don't have to do Algeria and all those other places. But I hope wherever you are, you have a fantastic day today. If it's not raining, get outside, do a little breathing, do a little meditation this morning. Meta, anything to tell the people?
I want to tell the people that TMak just said Algeria was on the other side of this country. What?
Algeria. Have you never been there?
It's in
It's in
Africa.
Oklahoma. I don't know, man. Algeria.
Okay, here's what I do want to tell the
Is there not
folks.
an Algeria in the United States? There has to be.
I mean, there's everything in the United States. I bet you could find it if you really tried. And to that point, I want to tell the folks. I was recently listening to Miss Pat. We're both huge fans of Miss Pat here on this podcast, and she's from Georgia. And they were reading her news article about Albany, about Andrew Cuomo in Albany. She said, "Albany, Georgia," and my first thought was, "What?" No one thinks of Albany, Georgia, unless you're from Albany, Georgia.
That's
She
pretty
is
true.
from Atlanta, though. She is from Atlanta. I found that pretty funny. Those of you at home who aren't familiar with, please check out Miss Pat on the Pat Down. Hilarious comic, great life story. We support her. Um, she pulled herself up from nothing. She saw the weaknesses in her character and in her behavior and attitude. And what she did was she worked on them and she filled those holes with putty and spackle, and then she painted over it and started a new life, and now she is successful. And you folks too can become successful. And yes, never rest working on yourself, because as TMak likes to say, as long as you're a little bit better than you were the day before, you're good.
Amen, brother. Well said.
Let's bring it home. Say bye-bye, folks.
Bye
To the
bye,
folks.
folks. I was going to say bye bye, guys.
Bye.